My husband almost caused an accident and blamed everyone else, including myself. My husband and I have been together for 9 years. We have recently started marriage counseling to hopefully improve communication. I'm starting to think it's not a communication issue, but an incompatibility issue. A lot of recent disagreements are related to safe practices with our toddler. He thinks I worry too much about safety. I think he lacks good judgment in regard to safety. Today we were driving, with our 2-year-old in the car, and there were 5 vehicles ahead of us. The front 2 were large tractors with slow-moving vehicle signs on the back of them. My husband was getting gradually irritated because they were going 25 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour and the 3 cars in front of us were not passing them. It was a solid double line. I told him that while it's annoying to go this slow, just be patient and do not pass as there are too many cars we would need to quickly overcome. His irritation level increases and he slightly crosses over the double line to see if it's safe to pass. I then yell, "Do not pass." This escalates the situation. He tells me the tractors, are assholes for not pulling over and the cars behind them are assholes for also not passing. At this point I'm practically begging him to relax and please do not pass, it's not worth it, it's a solid double line, we have the baby with us, etc. Basically trying to rationalize in any way possible. What does he do? Crosses over the double lines, slams on the accelerator, and attempts to pass 5 vehicles in one go. I can see there is oncoming traffic further ahead, but there is also a slight hill so I cannot see past that. Suddenly another vehicle comes over the hill and my husband has to slam on the brakes and wedge between the 2 tractors to avoid a head-on collision. Horns were blaring and everyone flipped us off. I was so pissed but remained quiet while he blamed literally everyone else but himself for almost causing an accident. He even blamed me for not trusting his judgment, which in turn caused him to not trust his God, because if he had then apparently everything would have worked out. I eventually spoke up and called him a terrible driver and claimed the reason he was actually upset is because he was embarrassed. He vehemently denied that accusation. I recognize that wasn't a helpful comment and I should have just remained quiet. I'm starting to think our situation cannot be improved and I need to decide if I can accept this behavior for the rest of my life. I don't even know if this is something counseling can solve. I feel so unheard and just overall really frustrated and hopeless. Comment. He put your child's life and safety at risk, not to mention yours and everyone else on that road, over what amounts to a minor inconvenience. If he can't even see that, then I don't know what more you can do. Even teenage boys would benefit from reading the book before they solidify their personality and they don't become abusers and can self-reflect on where their toxic thoughts come from. It won't help all teenage boys to reflect, but some might recognize their father in the examples of the book, and decide not to become their father when they start dating. I think the book actually recommends not showing it to men so they don't learn new tactics. I think teenage boys are different, at least hopefully. I also know some wonderful men who would not take that information in that way. I also recognize that DV happens outside of male-on-female heterosexual relationships. Just sharing the author's perspective. Sounds to me like he is putting on an act in therapy to make you seem concerned over nothing. My mother used to do that all the time when she didn't get her way. Of course her chosen target, once my sister and I were removed from her custody, was my paternal grandmother who had been asked by my father to come try to figure out what was wrong in his house. Without being attacked? Bish, he almost killed your kid. F him attacking you. I'd take my kid and go stay somewhere else for a bit. Sure, couples therapy is great, but he's gonna do it again, and especially when you are not in the car. He's gonna kill your kid. I get it. I feel your rage and I'm sorry for your loss. Something in the way she wrote and her responses give me the impression that she's being severely emotionally abused and manipulated but isn't quite ready to see that. If that makes sense. A part of me wanted to rage and scream at her to leave and save her kid, the other part felt like she would run right back to this man if she felt attacked by Reddit. Yeah, I'm probably need to log off Reddit now and take W break. She literally tried to just say a normal thing to him regarding his behavior, and she stopped in the middle of it because she knew she was going to get attacked. He's been emotionally abusing her since they first started dating, which by the way she was 23 and he was 32, I'm guessing she was right out of college and he swooped in. Probably the greatest guy ever until the mask began slipping. Unfortunately, if she does this she will be slapped with parental alienation accusations. He will get primary residential custody if she grabs the kid and runs. If she brings up any abusive or negligent behaviors of his, she will be labeled high conflict and have her parenting rights/time reduced. Providing proof of physical abuse to the court statistically increases male abusers' custodial time. Sadly, staying with men like this is often the best way to shield their children from them. Otherwise the child will have to spend days/weeks alone with these men unsupervised and without any other target for their anger. Right? He's lucky she only said he embarrassed himself. You have clearly been verbally abused by this man to a big degree if you're reflecting on what happened and your takeaway was that this comment was unhelpful. That was such a tiny thing to say. He almost killed you all because of how important he feels compared to everyone on the earth. He apparently has brainwashed you to believe that too. I absolutely hate the way women dance around "oh I don't want him to feel bad, attacked, put down, embarrassed, ashamed, incompetent etc. I'm sorry, but they fucking should. If I do some stupid behavior where any rational person would feel any of those emotions, then yeah I should fucking sit in that and work out how it happened and how to not let it happen again? That's how consequences work? Why are we busting our guts trying to save men from feeling the consequences of their actions? Next story 2. Wife asked me for a divorce/separation last night. How do I move forward? We have 2 boys, 1 and 6 years old. I work 40 hours a week at a government job making $60K/year. She works part-time, 20%, making $20K/year, and watches the baby. My mom helps watch the baby for a few hours 2 days a week so she can work. She's been thinking about this for the past few months, she said. It boils down to us having different values. She has higher standards than me. She wears the pants in the relationship, and she's always the one to get mad. She feels like she's the one doing everything in the relationship. It's easier with the 2 kids when I'm not around. Sometimes I feel the same, in that it's easier when it's me and the 2 kids without worrying about making her mad. Compared to her, I have a lack of initiative. She always wants to be moving up in life, while I feel like I can't keep up and would rather enjoy what we have, and she's made it clear she will never slow down. She wants the best schooling and best home for our kids. I, on the other hand, am a bit more simple, and am about making the most of and adjusting to whatever current situation we find ourselves in. I also want our kids to have good schooling and a nice home, but I think that being there for them unstressed and giving them as much love as we can takes precedence over most things. As another example, all the furniture in our house was chosen and bought by her. If I was by myself, I feel like the kids and I don't need a lot of extra stuff. I probably would have an open floor living room, no TV, and mismatched chairs, maybe an inflatable or beanbag couch. Another thing is that she feels like I'm another child she has to take care of, that she has to clean up after I watch the kids. I would/do clean up, but I can't do it until after I take care of the kids, and then, my cleaning is not up to her standards. I definitely suck ass at some things, like cooking, handiwork around the house, decorating, anything aesthetic really, fixing/putting together things. I try to make up for it in other areas like doing dishes, laundry, bathing, and putting the kids down, and being the one to wake up and feed the baby at night, and being available whenever to take the kids when she needs a break or to work. She says the things I do are not helpful enough. She also knows that I'm already at my limit as far as what I can do to help out, and she's at hers. My 100% is not good enough. I don't disagree with her on any of these things. Continuing on this way is unacceptable to her. She's unhappy and she's going to be a moody mom to the kids all the time. When she looks at me, she gets pissed. She also feels that it's not fair that I get to go to work and not have to be around kids for 40 hours a week, and do my hobby on my lunch break. She told me wouldn't it be nice for me if I didn't have to walk on eggshells all the time. I've tried in the past to up my cleaning and taking more initiative/lead on life decisions, but either I eventually slip back down or it isn't enough, or I don't push for changes because I'm content with our life. I do feel unhappy in life sometimes that I'm walking on eggshells, but I told her right away that I still love her and don't want a divorce or separation. I asked if she still loves me and she said she doesn't know. I'm feeling a mixture of sadness, anger, disbelief, and tiredness. I thought of trying to pick up another job to make more money so she doesn't have to work, but then she wouldn't be able to further her career, which would be necessary to send our kids to a nicer school and move to a bigger place. Marriage counseling is another option that I'm willing to try. I don't know how to fix this or how we should move forward. Comment. You seem resigned to let the chips fall where they may. I think she's right to want more than an inflatable couch and just the basics, and you seem to be unwilling to acknowledge that this is a normal desire. You also haven't mentioned any desire to change, so I think maybe you are in your own way relieved. Maybe you aren't happy either. So all of the mental load is on her. She has to think of everything. I don't think you realize how many things she needs to do and remember. It's not about laundry or dishes. It's about who thinks about everything that needs to be done, what everyone needs. Also you say she doesn't feel it's fair that you get to work and not be around the kids for 40 hours a week. Your solutions is to look for an extra job. Are you not listening to her at all? She probably has been trying to get through to you for years. She's already checked out. Doing the laundry and dishes feels like such a male perspective of running a household. Does he keep an eye on when to do the laundry? When certain clothes need to be cleaned for certain events? Does he fold away clothes promptly after they dry? Does he recognize which clothes need to be ironed and at what temperatures? Does he keep track of the detergent and plan to purchase more, not when it runs out but just before? Does he identify tough stains and soak them enough, in time before actual laundry? Does he discover wear and tear of the clothes and keep a note which ones to replace? Running a household can't be reduced to laundry and dishes, just as running a business can't be reduced to presentations and quarterly reports. His wife is running a household and he is compiling Excel sheets and thinking he's the vice president. I don't know, you lost me at inflatable couch. Having to buy all of the furniture myself because my husband doesn't see the need for a TV or an actual couch would irritate me pretty badly. Then making her seem high maintenance for wanting those things. Really? Why can't you cook and clean adequately? Are you using the wrong cleaning products? Are you putting dirty dishes away? Are you undercooking chicken? Can you fry an egg or make grilled cheese? You can learn to cook simple things on the internet or with recipes, and your wife can show you exactly how she likes things to be cleaned. I dated a guy like this before. Totally helpless. Anytime he tried to do the laundry or the grocery shopping or make dinner, it was a disaster. Don't be good at a job you don't want, right? I did absolutely everything. It was infuriating. I felt like his mom also. I also dated a guy like that. He was totally helpless. He couldn't even do simple things like figure out how to unscrew a tire valve cap to help me put air in the tires. Didn't know how to clean. I had to buy him new pillows because he somehow couldn't smell that his pillows were rancid. He cooked for me once and the pork was somehow both badly burned and totally raw in the middle. Other than that, he lived on frozen meals. Didn't have furniture at his place. He was in his mid-20s and my first boyfriend. I broke up with him and felt so much relief. I can't imagine being married to someone who is deeply incompetent and doesn't feel the need to learn how to do basic things. You think you're getting a partner and instead you get another kid, carrying the weight of the world on your own.